The death of Gilda Radner brought it to national attention.
Gilda Radner was a legendary comic genius. Have you ever wanted to know what secrets she kept after she died? The American comedy scene was forever changed by this iconic personality, who brought to life an array of endearing and hilarious characters. Sadly, this bright star's life took a dark turn in 1989 when she died of ovarian cancer at the young age of 42, leaving the world with less humor. Untold tales, unpublished writings, and insights from people closest to her have now surfaced years after her tragic death. Come along as we uncover astonishing new details about Gilda, revealing facets of her character you would not have known existed. Shall we begin? Gaining a grasp of Gilda Radner's formative years and life events is necessary before exploring her meteoric climb to comedic icon status. The upbringing of Gilda Susan Radner, who was born in Detroit, Michigan in 1946, had an unusual combination of typical suburban life with touches of the remarkable. Herman Radner, a prosperous businessman, and Henrietta, a legal secretary, lavished her with attention and love as the youngest of two Jewish children. Nevertheless, she had a rocky childhood. Among Gilda's health problems was an eating disorder, which plagued her for a long time. She opened out about the challenges she faced in her book, It's Always Something, and how they affected her life. From the time I was 9 years old, I've dealt with stress by enduring every imaginable eating problem. My weight has ranged from 93 to 160 pounds. That was only the beginning, though. Tragedy struck when Gilda was 14 years old, and she lost her loving father to a brain tumor. This loss changed her emotionally for the rest of her life. Despite all of this, Gilda discovered refuge in the performing arts, a love that had been fostered by her father's enthusiasm for Broadway productions, and which had given her an early taste for the joys of acting and humor. During her time as a teenager at Detroit's University Liggett School, she displayed a natural talent for making people laugh and a flair for the theatrical. Her scholastic achievement was uneven, but her lively personality was what really stood out. After finishing high school, Gilda decided to attend the University of Michigan to get a degree in education. But her life-changing choice was prompted by her intense love of performing on stage. She began the path to her rise to fame in comedy when she accompanied her then-boyfriend, the sculptor Jeffrey Rubinoff, to Toronto. Gilda Radner's rise to fame started in the blossoming artistic community of Toronto in the early 1970s, when she landed her first major part in a 1972 staging of Godspell, a musical that recounted the Gospel of Matthew. Along with future talents like Martin Short, Eugene Levy, and Andrea Martin, the production was a commercial and critical success, paving the way for Gilda and her contemporaries to have a fruitful collaborative career. More than simply her debut, Gilda's performance in Godspell was a revelation, showcasing her uncanny comic timing and remarkable ability to connect with the audience. It became evident that she was more than just another actress. She was a rising star. After her breakout role in Godspell, Gilda joined the illustrious Toronto comedy troupe The Second City, where she worked tirelessly to perfect her craft while mingling with other talented performers and writers. For Gilda, The Second City was more than just a job. It was a comedy boot camp where her signature blend of warmth, candor, and a touch of the ridiculous took shape. During her formative years at The Second City, Gilda fully immersed herself in the improvised comedy ensemble, which helped her hone her comic chops and find her unique voice. The audience loved her shows, and she became a star performer in no time. Opportunities outside of The Second City began to present themselves to Gilda as her talent drew the notice of influential people in the entertainment world. Gilda Radner's career reached a turning point in 1975 when she became famous for her role in the revolutionary comedy series Saturday Night Live, SNL. This was a watershed event in American comedy history just around the time Saturday Night Live was about to change the face of television comedy forever. Gilda's audition for the program was a watershed moment as well, as she was chosen as one of the original cast members, an incredible accomplishment in and of itself. As Gilda's run on SNL progressed, her star began to rise fast. She wasn't merely a performer, she was a pioneer who forever changed the face of comedy. The characters she played, like the outspoken Roseanne and the charmingly confused Emily Litella, became cultural icons. Gilda Radner became more than just a funny woman on TV. She became a powerhouse, representing a new age in comedy. During her time on Saturday Night Live, SNL, Gilda's prolific creativity and hilarious antics set the stage for a comedy revolution that she had no idea was coming in 1975. Her appearance on SNL was more than just an addition to the show. She became an integral part of a cultural movement. She didn't just play the parts, she gave them life, giving them vibrancy and depth that went beyond what was on TV. Her comedic timing was spot on, and she added just the right amount of heartfelt sincerity to her characters, which won over the American audience. Roseanne, one of Gilda's most recognizable characters, exemplified her talent for bringing the ridiculous and the realistic together. Roseanne, with her wild hair and fiery personality, was a satirical take on advice columnists who sometimes went off on long tangents. That's so, Gilda's unique delivery made this character more than just a punchline. She was a reflection on the ridiculousness of daily life. Finally, there was the charming but perpetually bewildered old lady known as Emily Litella. She had a knack for misinterpreting editorial topics, and her catchphrase, "Never mind," which she would say when she realized her mistake, became a part of our national lexicon. Gilda's talent for creating charming characters with a touch of humor shone through in Emily Litella. Gilda's portrayal of Barbara Walters as Baba Wawa was another brilliant move. Her playful imitation of the famous journalist's distinctive speech struck a chord with viewers and even got Walters herself to admit that she was being imitated. This was more than just a copy, it was a tribute and a courteous nod to another powerful woman in the media. Her characters encompassed a blend of the eccentric, the endearing, and the downright hilarious, yet they transcended mere sources of amusement. They were reflections of society, holding up mirrors to the quirks and idiosyncrasies of the world. Gilda's humor was characterized by its intelligence and insightfulness, setting her apart even within the talented ensemble of SNL. The charisma and humor that Gilda brought to her on-screen personas extended beyond the screen. Her co-workers at SNL, such as Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and John Belushi, saw her as more than just another cast member. They saw her as a pioneer. Gilda, being one of the few women in a male-dominated industry, stood firm with her indisputable talent and unwavering determination. Gilda Radner's influence went well beyond her Saturday Night Live appearances. She became a symbol of strength and encouragement for young comics, especially women breaking into a male-dominated field, which solidified her place in comedy history. Having said that, fame did not come easily. Gilda Radner's love life, which she lived behind the scenes, was as dramatic as her on-screen personas. From Hollywood romances to high school sweethearts, Radner's relationship saga was a wild ride of love, heartache, and finally, finding her soulmate. It all started with Radner's high school flame, Jeffrey Rubinoff. Their passionate and intense love didn't last. After their breakup, Radner was in the middle of an on-again, off-again relationship with Martin Short. They were both in the musical Godspell, and their chemistry was palpable, both on and off stage. The romantic involvements of Radner, who became involved with several SNL castmates, including Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd, paralleled the highs and lows of her comedic sketches which she performed on the show, and there was no shortage of laughter or tears. Seeing so many of her ex-boyfriends on set of Ghostbusters must have been quite uncomfortable for Radner. Her friend Judy Levy recalled how it was hard for her to watch the film because it featured not one, but three of her ex-boyfriends: Aykroyd, Murray, and Harold Ramis. It was a bittersweet reminder of the love she had lost along the way. Despite the pain of yet another failed relationship, Radner held out hope that genuine love could be found outside of her 1980 wedding to musician G.E. Smith. Their union appeared to be a new beginning, but it was brief. The couple split up in 1982, barely 2 years after exchanging vows. Meeting Gene Wilder was the next step. They met in 1982 on the set of Hanky Panky, and according to Radner, it was love at first sight. Little did they know their on-screen chemistry would soon develop into a real-life affair. The stars crossed paths again in 1984 when they co-starred in The Woman in Red. Their chemistry grew stronger on set, and they were soon prepared to tie the knot. On September 18, 1984, in Saint-Tropez, Gilda Radner and Gene Wilder were married. As they worked on their third picture together, 1986's Haunted Honeymoon, their love story continued to blossom. The joy they felt in one another's presence was evident in the laughs they shared on set. It appeared as though they had finally discovered their happily ever after. Unfortunately, as you will see in a while, tragedy struck right as everything appeared to be clicking into place. When filming Haunted Honeymoon began, Gilda got some terrible news that would alter the course of her life. Even though Gilda Radner gracefully handled her fame, being a public figure came with its own set of challenges, such as the media's relentless scrutiny and the weight of expectation that she maintain her infectious vivacity and humor at all times. Autobiography was more than a memoir. It was a story of triumph over adversity, a testament to Gilda's resilience. And her candor in sharing her life's journey, health battles, and career highs and lows brought solace and inspiration to many who were going through tough times. Despite the persistent pain, Gilda persisted in seeking medical attention in 1985 when filming Haunted Honeymoon in the UK after she started experiencing extreme exhaustion and pain in her upper legs, which led to a string of incorrect diagnoses by different doctors in Los Angeles. Gilda received a stage IV ovarian cancer diagnosis in October 1986. She had surgery which included a hysterectomy and the removal of a grapefruit-sized tumor from her abdomen. The following chemotherapy and radiation therapy caused her tremendous physical and emotional suffering, as she described in her book, It's Always Something. While she was fighting for her life, the National Enquirer ran the headline, "Gilda Radner in life-death struggle without consulting her." To add sensationalism to the story, they used an old photo of her looking terrified from a Saturday Night Live sketch, which upset her loved ones. Regardless, Gilda opted to stay in the spotlight, use her position to raise cancer awareness, and educate people about the condition. Her candor brought attention to ovarian cancer, which is notoriously neglected. Ovarian cancer was not well understood when she was diagnosed, which made her journey even more difficult. It became a battle for her life and her career. Gilda faced her illness with the same humor and courage she had shown all her life despite the pain and uncertainty. During Gilda's remission, a little break from the inexorable grip of illness, she experienced a defining moment in her life, a time of light, hope, and optimism. During this time, Gilda reflected on her journey and put her thoughts into her autobiography, It's Always Something. The book was more than a memoir. It was an honest portrayal of her life, her fight against cancer, and her resilience. Through her words, she told her story to the world, giving readers a look into the ups and downs of her ordeal. A return to the stage, the world of comedy, Gilda's home, would have been a victorious and symbolic homecoming. Rumors even circulated that she may host Saturday Night Live. But then the terrible truth of cancer came back to haunt us, destroying that little window of optimism. Gilda Radner's incredible talent and beautiful spirit were lost to the world on May 20, 1989, at the age of 42, after she lapsed into a coma during a routine hospital visit for a CT scan. This unexpected turn of events shocked her loved ones and admirers alike. The news of her passing sent shockwaves of sadness across the world. Tributes were pouring in, both honoring her life and lamenting her passing. Saturday Night Live paid homage to her with a unique sketch, reminding everyone of the happiness and mirth she provided to millions of people. The significance of early identification of cancer was highlighted by Gilda's fight with the disease in her latter years. Her candor about her struggle helped remove the taboo associated with talking about cancer, especially ovarian cancer. which is sometimes overlooked until it's advanced. After being profoundly moved by Gilda's fight and death, her husband Gene Wilder became an outspoken supporter of cancer education and research, and he was instrumental in establishing 2 centers dedicated to the fight against cancer: the Gilda Radner Ovarian Detection Center and the Gilda Radner Hereditary Cancer Program at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. These endeavors continue Gilda's lasting legacy, which she has left behind in the vital arena of cancer awareness and support, going beyond her comedic influence. Gilda Radner and her late husband Gene Wilder came from different financial backgrounds in the entertainment industry and among celebrities. Gilda Radner's estimated net worth at the time of her dying was $4 million, garnered from her great acting and comedic careers. However, her husband, Gene Wilder, had a larger net worth of $20 million, so her money was eclipsed. A prolific actor, Gene Wilder amassed a fortune, thanks in large part to his iconic roles in films like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and Blazing Saddles. His versatility and skill as an actor earned him critical praise and box office success. Gilda Radner and Gene Wilder had a strong personal link as a married pair and left behind a legacy in the entertainment business that audiences across the world can still feel the effects of their talent and influence, even if their net worths are different. Gilda Radner's impact went far beyond her roles on stage and screen and her appearances on Saturday Night Live. Her death was a devastating blow, but her legacy will live on, resonating in the realms of comedy, health awareness, and support for those dealing with the worst problems in life. Her characters on SNL, Rosanna Dana, Emily Litella, Baba Wawa, were not caricatures. They were daring, nuanced portrayals that broke the mold of what female comedians were expected to be. Gilda's impact on comedy is monumental. She was more than just a performer. She was a trailblazer who paved the way for women in a field dominated by men. Modern female comedians tackle their craft with courage, creativity, and depth, challenging the status quo. At a time when celebrity health battles were not as openly shared, Gilda's candor and openness brought much-needed attention to ovarian cancer, its symptoms, and the importance of early detection. Outside of comedy, Gilda's influence extended into the realm of health advocacy, especially in the fight against ovarian cancer. Her public battle with the disease raised awareness about a cancer that was often overshadowed and under-discussed. After Gilda passed away, her husband Gene Wilder became an outspoken supporter of cancer research and awareness. Together, they established 2 programs, the Gilda Radner Hereditary Cancer Program at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center and the Gilda Radner Ovarian Detection Center, which have brought hope and action to the fight against ovarian cancer by screening and educating countless women. Gilda's story also served as the impetus for the establishment of Gilda's Club, a system of cancer support centers that provide a nurturing setting where individuals and their families can discover encouragement, knowledge, and optimism. The spirit of Gilda's Club mirrors Gilda's personal outlook on life, which is to face each day with bravery, humor, and an empathic spirit. Since Gilda's Club and the wellness community merged to become the cancer support community, this impact has only grown, and the network of support it has created has reached far and wide. Gilda's legacy lives on in the entertainment industry, where tributes to her life and work are ever present, serving to honor her memory and remind future generations of the special cultural and comedic contributions she made. Gilda Radner was posthumously honored with a Grammy Award for Best Spoken Word or Non-Musical Recording for her autobiography in 1990 and inducted into the Michigan Women's Hall of Fame in 1992, among many other honors that celebrate her extraordinary life and work. Her legacy lives on in the streets of cities where a road bearing her name, Gilda Radner Way, serves as a literal and symbolic path that mirrors her journey and encourages others to do the same with courage and joy. The star that Gilda Radner received posthumously in 2003 from the Hollywood Walk of Celebrity is more than just an acknowledgement of her celebrity. It is a powerful monument to the adoration, admiration, and influence that she had and continues to have. Many people's experiences with Gilda Radner are very personal. Her performances have an enduring quality that speaks to them, and the way she portrayed characters who were both funny and human provides an understanding and connection that does not vary with the passage of time. The multidimensionality of Gilda's legacy is what makes her truly unique. She was more than just a comedian. She was an innovator, a fighter against injustice, and an example of hope and resilience. People still find inspiration and motivation in her ability to transform her personal struggles into something positive. Gilda's life story is filled with more than simply humorous anecdotes. It is a story that is enhanced by her multi-talented artistic abilities and her altruistic nature, which together present a more complete image of Gilda as an individual who welcomed life with open arms and was not limited to her comedic talents. Although Gilda's sketch comedy work is what brought her most fame, her artistic journey included many other performances. Her stage work, especially in Godspell and other musicals, demonstrated her versatility as an actress. Gilda had a magnetic stage presence, captivating audiences with a blend of her innate comic talent and profound emotional range. Gilda's adaptability was on full display when she made the leap from stage performances to the silver screen. Her cinematic career may not have lived up to her television glory days, but it did demonstrate her eagerness to try new things. Films such as Hanky Panky and Haunted Honeymoon gave Gilda the chance to act in roles that were completely out of her comfort zone, showcasing her versatility beyond her signature comedic roles. Yet Gilda's versatility was on full display not only in the performing arts, but also in her writing, especially in her autobiography, It's Always Something, which offered a glimpse into her inner world and a story that was as moving and honest as her performances. In the book, Gilda openly recounted her life's ups and downs with candor and humor. Gilda's life was characterized by an altruism that went beyond the entertainment industry. Her candidness about her cancer battle was instrumental in bringing attention to ovarian cancer, but her influence in health advocacy reached even further. Gilda became an unintentional but powerful advocate for cancer patients, drawing attention to the mental and emotional toll that the disease takes. She leaves a lasting impression on cancer advocacy through the organizations that carry on her work. Gilda's Club, with its inviting atmosphere, embodies Gilda's knowledge of the importance of community and support for cancer patients. These centers do more than provide medical treatment. They also aim to nurture the human spirit by providing a haven where joy, camaraderie, and understanding combine. Further evidence of her enduring influence in the medical community can be found at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center's Gilda Radner Hereditary Cancer Program and the Gilda Radner Ovarian Detection Center, both of which place an emphasis on early detection, research, and compassionate care, values that Gilda herself exemplified. Gilda's impact goes far beyond the comedy world and health advocacy. She became an icon of strength and perseverance, an inspiration to people in the entertainment industry and beyond. Many people find inspiration and motivation in her story, which is marked by highs and lows. Her capacity to laugh and find joy even in the worst of situations is a legacy that goes beyond her humorous art. It is a strong reminder of the healing power of laughter, and it characterizes Gilda's attitude to life. The following video that appears on your screen is more motivational. While you're here, be sure to watch it.